Forgiving isn't easy, especially when those who have wronged us have not asked for our forgiveness. But forgive we must. If we take a look at the evening news, they're really good at getting somebody on there whose family member has been murdered or raped, and they're just screaming for justice. There's anger and hate there. Anger and hate that, to be very clear, is completely understandable. That anger and hate has got to turn into forgiveness if they ever want to get on the road to closure or to moving on. It's as simple as that. I met a lady once whose daughter was killed by cancer. Tragic story. She told me all about it. But we talked a little bit about forgiveness. And I told her my story, and she said, well, I can never forgive God for taking my daughter away. And we never had a conversation after that because I told her that it's not an option. You have to forgive God. You've got to forgive yourself. You've got to forgive those around her in order to be able to ever have any kind of closure. In my case, my 18-year-old son died of alcohol poisoning on the day he moved out of the house. And as a parent, there has to have been something I could have done differently. That's something that you play over and over and over in your head. In an effort to raise awareness about binge drinking and alcohol poisoning, I walked from Arizona to Montana with his ashes in my backpack and told the story at numerous schools, treatment facilities, and churches. 1,400 miles on the road gives a guy a lot of time to think. And one of the things I thought about was forgiveness. It was easy for me to forgive those that were at the party. And it was easy for me to forgive my son because he's my son. But to be real honest, the person that it was the hardest to forgive was me. There simply has to have been something I could have done different. And I knew it. My mom used to say, forgive and forget. Well, I found a way to forgive myself for what happened. And I highly encourage any parent who has lost a child to find a way to forgive yourself. Because you will never, ever start the healing process until you find a way to forgive yourself. I'm not going to say that it'll make everything better, but you will never start that process until you find a way to forgive yourself and those that were involved in your child's death.